Hello there guys, this is the Cathaltist again, and we're going to be doing something a little different here today. I wanted to look into some Xbox Live Arcade indie game things, and one of my friends suggested... where is it? There we go. One Finger Death Punch as a place to start. Oh, how bad could it be?
This game uses only two buttons. Press X or B when enemies are in range.
Silver dollar.
I want to just make it perfectly clear, any seemingly racist commentary on here, that is strictly coming from the game. It is fully voiced, that's not me trying to do some kind of horrible Japanese accent. On that note, let's jump right into this, shall we? So we have survival, 3 different types, they're all locked. Regular levels, starting at student.
Do not button mash. 20 round. Round 1. You cannot move in this game. Wait for enemies to enter the zone. The enemy has entered the zone. Notice how the gray enemies take one hit. Wait for enemies to approach you. Fight using only the X and B buttons.
So, I don't know how many of you kind of are in the same boat as I am, having basically grown up with these little stick fight videos that were always online, being an integral part of your childhood. But basically they were something that followed me all the way through high school, and I don't know, I've always kind of wanted a game where you get to play through some of those kind of fights. I know there were some good ones that StickPage and other sites like that put out, but they're always short and pretty shallow and everything. This, however, this interesting little 2-button indie game has managed to capture the entire feel of those videos in something that is so incredibly simplified control-wise, and yet so very complex when you actually try to play it.
You cannot move in this game. Wait for enemies to approach you. Fight using only the X and B buttons.
Essentially, you're just using your right hand for this. Just X and B, as you can see, and as it's said several times, to attack anything that comes within range there. The animation is beautiful. The moves feel very natural, although I have to admit I'm not getting much time to actually enjoy them while I'm playing this. It's a little too distracting for me to actually pay attention to what my guy is doing. However, I've got a feeling that watching this after it's done... oh, that is beautiful. Watching this after it's done, it's going to be much more fun to actually watch. But yeah, basically the animations are beautiful, the moves feel great when you actually are performing them right. And yeah, they just seem to have totally captured the whole feel of a little flash stick fights and everything. Now, this, I just wanted to mention the high scores. Okay, so, yeah, high score list, mastery. What is this?
Keep playing to increase this score. Fewer misses gives you a higher score. We are holding a competition. The first 9 people to reach a mastery score of 20 million will have a chance to get their names included in One Finger Death Punch's default high score screen. If you reach a mastery score of 20 million, you are to take a screenshot using your phone and email us the proof so we can see that you are in fact a true master.
Alright, well that's kind of cool. Very nice. Yeah, right, let's jump right back into this, shall we? So, first tutorial level's done. Now into what I'm assuming is the real game.
This is your life.
That's beautiful. So as you can see, fully destructible backgrounds and everything that react to what's going on the screen, what it is that you're doing. You can't actually control where you're going. Like, you can control where you're going, but you can't actually move aside from your attacks. And apparently you can pick up weapons from people. That's a nice touch.
All throwing weapons kill
And throwing weapons as well, for an instant kill. Very nice. So, let's see here. Bow and arrow, bombs, awesome sword. This is fantastic. I have to admit, I've only ever played one other game by these guys, and
rewarded with a medal if you miss less than 10 times.
let's just say it wasn't very impressive, although it did take a good hour of my life away. For those who don't know which one I'm talking about, go look up a game called No Luca No, and then buy it.
Press X or B in the combat
Okay,
zone.
let's see here. So here we have brawlers. They take several hits to bring down like that, and it goes into an interesting little like quick time event type thing. Even though technically I guess this whole game is a quick time event. But yeah, you see what I mean. Now, I am notoriously bad at any kind of rhythm game or anything that requires you to press specific buttons at specific times, so don't expect me to get through any more levels that aren't the tutorial level perfect. I don't know what it is, I just cannot get the hang of that sort of thing. Patterns are difficult for me, apparently. Man, this is beautiful. Someone put a lot of time and effort into this game for something that was only $1 on the Xbox Live Arcade. This thing is totally worth your money. I can't stress that enough. Yeah, if you're watching this and you have $1 to spare, download this. It's fun. It is just
If the X or B bars
fun.
drop below
I
the
can't think of
ground,
any other way to describe it.
take damage.
There's just something really satisfying about actually getting these moves right, even though it's just two simple buttons that you're pressing over and over again. When the combinations actually connect and everything, and when you get, well, yeah, something like that kind of. What is this? Wow. Okay. When you get something like that to happen, it just feels really good. That's not coming from some kind of weird sadist point of view of beating up all these pretty much defenseless stick figures. I have no idea what's going on. Okay, it's a lightsaber round. Interesting. But, yeah. No, there's just something very satisfying about this game. And it might just be appealing to me on a stupid, immature level as far as things that I liked back when I was in high school, but if that's the case, I am all for it. And I can't suggest this one enough. Which is a nice surprise, because going into this, I was expecting all the games that my friends were suggesting to be something that I would have to suffer through.
Look at the X and B buttons.
This was actually a really good suggestion, and I'm glad it was brought up.
Gold medal. Awarded.
Another thing that I'm starting to realize, what is this, 3 missions into the game now? 4? 5? Something like that? The soundtrack is incredible. The music that's playing in the background, while again, not particularly complex or anything, is just perfect for this kind of game. And it's something I can definitely see myself going back and listening to just as like background music for anything. Okay, that's kind of cool. The thrown weapons even kill the brawlers in one hit. Good to know. So let's see. Now we have regular enemies, brawlers, these blue guys that take, who dodge out of the way of your first attack. green guys who take multiple hits to kill. I'm not entirely sure what else they can throw at me in this, aside from, like, bigger combinations of what's already there. But, yeah, it's a nice little bit of diversity as far as moves and everything that you have to get used to. And, yeah, just turns into a nice pattern. And now we have a skill unlocked. So this is another thing that apparently you get in here, just a bunch of different skills that change how you play the game. This one gives you multiple daggers every time you find one on a person. And let's see, I'll have to see what some of the other ones do once this unlocks and everything. Right now it's just kind of caught in this, and it won't stop talking, even though it's all kind of explained there right at the bottom of the screen. But whatever. Anyway, yeah, so I think I may end up dedicating quite a bit more time to this game. It looks fantastic, it plays fantastic, it sounds fantastic. I don't know what else to say. It's only $1 on Xbox Live Arcade. Go out and buy it. It's just good, stupid fun. I have to give them a lot of credit too. The fully voiced narration and everything, while maybe horribly racist and stereotypical and everything, it also really does add quite a bit to the game. Just that extra intangible touch that just shows how much effort really went into making this. Oh, and now we have a boss fight, which was not something I was expecting to see in this kind of game. So it's basically combining two different types of enemies into what's essentially just one very strong enemy. I like it. I really like it. Okay, I'm gonna go play more of this game. See you guys tomorrow or next time one of these videos goes up. I'll have a different game to show you. Buy this one. The end.